joining us on today's episode where we have Kyler Harris, who is a local business owner here in Tahlequah, and he's also a fireman in the Fayetteville market, but you live here locally and work here locally?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a full-time fireman in Fayetteville.
Oh, really? Oh, awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Well, thank you for taking the time away.
Yeah,
And so is there a chance of you getting called out in the middle of this show?
No. So we work 48, 96 shifts. So 48 hours on, 96 hours off, which makes it doable for me to live in Oklahoma.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's unusual.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's
okay.
a few departments that are going over to that. It's a little better mental health.
Yeah, mental
Yeah.
health, especially in that job.
Yeah,
That would be.
absolutely.
So how long have you been a fireman?
Going on 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, so relatively new.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And you are from Tahlequah?
I guess I have to say I'm from Tahlequah now. So I lived pretty much everywhere in Oklahoma. My dad was a really good football coach, so he liked to go to programs that struggled, and he liked to turn them around. So we moved a lot,
Nice.
and then I went to school here at NSU. I played football here,
Okay.
and then when I finished playing, I never left. I've just been here since. So
And listen, we hear that so often.
Yeah.
People come here, they
Yeah.
fall in love, and they never leave, or
Yeah.
they do move away, and then they're heading back.
That's
so
exactly what
there's
happened
just
to my parents as
something
well.
here.
Yeah, it
for
is.
sure.
Yeah.
So the parents moved back.
yeah, they met here. So they met here, and then my dad and my mom currently are still looking. There you go. They're
Oh,
looking,
hello.
they're looking for a home in Tahlequah.
Okay.
They have a really nice place in Coweta, but my dad is he's coaching again. He came out of retirement like the goon
my
that he is,
gosh.
but he's coaching in at Tahlequah Sequoia.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, welcome back to Tahlequah. That's fantastic. So you are a local business person, which is why we have you on. And I do always like to do a little bit of research before we sit down and chat, because we'd never actually met
We
until
haven't,
just
yeah.
a few minutes
Yeah.
ago. But as always, we always say, hey, if you know anyone that you would like to see on the podcast, and your name came up,
Yeah.
and we contacted you, and you were like, heck yeah, I'll come and talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when I was sitting down to visit with you, I found out that you also are starting a podcast.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
tell us
so
about that.
It kind of just came out of nowhere. We decided we had answered a lot of the same questions regularly.
And now who's we?
It's me, Sam Swinson, and
Okay.
and Matt McCrary is the one doing all of the behind the scenes work.
Okay,
Um,
perfect.
So the similar questions in fitness or nutrition or just getting started with a healthy lifestyle,
Okay.
they're the same questions. They're very common, and
Over and
so
over.
we answer the same questions frequently, and there's just little nuances to everybody's individual situation. So we figured that podcast would be a really easy way for people to have information that they could continue to repeat for themselves or share to other people, and
And
maybe
listen when they're
yeah,
working out or on the
yeah.
drive.
Maybe
or-
make a little bit of a bigger impact, and we're trying to have be very short, little
Awesome.
short segments, 10-minute segments of a certain topic
Okay.
while you're on your way to work, in and out.
So
And then
this 2-hour session that you and I'm
Oh,
kidding.
yeah, yeah. Like a full Rogan podcast here, yeah.
Yeah, oh, I wish,
Yeah.
I wish. So, okay, and so, and I really have not even gotten to the point of saying what you do. I just said you're a local business owner.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so tell us about your business.
So I own Okie Flow Fitness.
Okay.
We've been here since 2017.
Oh, wow. I didn't
yeah.
realize that you'd
Yeah.
been here that long.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And we have a gym here, and we have a gym in Muskogee as well. So Okie Flow Fitness Tahlequah, Okie Flow Fitness Muskogee.
I love that.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love that.
Yeah.
So when I was researching you, a couple of the things that really stood out and made me want to have you come on, I love just kind of the push behind it, right? So you're very family oriented.
Very, yeah.
Everything is about family
Yeah.
or your church,
Yes.
right? Your faith.
Yeah.
And then a couple of the quotes, improving mankind,
Yeah.
that just kept coming up. So that's not just about muscles. That's
Yeah.
about just being a better human.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
So Stefan,
yes.
he's one of my best friends. We say we're brothers, but so he mentioned to you I was his brother.
Yeah, he said Stefan Hurd, who you guys
Yeah.
have watched on previous episodes, had said that he wanted his brother to come on.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah, we look a little different.
Yeah, you look totally different,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Stefan and I have been friends for a really long time. Whenever he was playing ball still, I had already started the gym. And when I initially got into training people, it was athletes.
Okay.
So I didn't have a name for it. I was just training people who were kids athletes or college age athletes. And when Stefan came down, the gym had grown quite a bit,
Right.
and it was really hard for me to balance the two of them. And he was on board to help me with it, and then he took off with it. So
Yeah.
he's really made it what it is today.
Oh,
Like
that's
he's
amazing.
done a phenomenal job. So AIM is an acronym.
Right.
That's Athletes Improving Mankind. And our concept was that we're not trying to just help you become a better athlete, but in athletics you're taught character, responsibility, grit, things that are all necessary for a successful life. And,
Some of my favorite words.
right. So Athletes Improving Mankind was the acronym for AIM.
I love that. I didn't even get to that part
Yeah.
then. I
Yeah.
was just seeing the improving mankind. And you kind of mentioned it. The other thing that I loved was balance is the key.
Yes.
That is in a
Yeah.
lot of your posts, and I'm sure it's going to be a big aspect of your podcast.
It is, yeah.
Tell me about that. I mean, obviously, having a good friend come on and assist you, that helped balance.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
yeah.
Team. That's
Yeah.
really what it comes down to. So you can go quite a long ways on your own, but
Mhm.
eventually you're going to plateau or drive yourself completely crazy.
Yeah.
So the only thing to do in that scenario is to uplift others or teach others, and then stop trying to be the highlight of the show, right? So hand responsibility off to other people, but also give them a platform.
Absolutely.
And, that's kind of what we've done with the gym. There's no way the gym could continue to grow if I was going to be a fireman at the same time.
Right.
So the combination of those two was building a great team, and
Putting it all
we have
together.
we have an awesome team in Tahlequah and an awesome team in Muskogee, and we have an awesome team for AIM. So we have really good teams.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And obviously that's kind of what I had done. You know,
Yeah.
I had a great thriving real estate business,
Mhm.
but had kind of gotten to a plateau.
Yeah.
And then the sales team came in, and I basically am just kind of their team leader, and they
Yeah.
do their thing, and it's great for everyone, and
Yeah.
we can help so many more people by doing it that
Absolutely.
way.
Yeah.
So
Bigger impact.
it's a totally different flow, but it
Yeah.
works,
Yeah.
right?
Flow. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, one of the things I always like to kind of figure out is what makes you the expert. And so when I was going in and looking, I was kind of, I don't know if this is an accurate statement or not, but your max lift, you did 620 pounds?
That was recent. Yes, ma'am. I still
Holy
compete. So.
smokes,
Yeah.
that is incredible. Was that some kind of a new record for the area, or?
It was new for me.
Okay.
I didn't know I could do that either, but it was I like to compete still in CrossFit, and
Okay.
I really enjoy it. There is a very big difference in competing, right, and
Right.
training. So the competition side of things, it's not something everybody should do. It's not even something anybody, very many people want to do, right? But if you do enjoy, like I was an ex-athlete, so the competitive bug is still kind of there. So
Yeah.
that was just a recent competition I did, and you had to max a lift.
That is really
So,
impressive. I
yeah,
was like, holy smokes, I got to bring that up.
Yeah.
And then, you know, people are going to be watching this podcast and this episode, and, you know, our demographic kind of is a big range, but
Right.
realistically, they tend to be more my age. But what I wanted to point out by having a young person on here is if they go and check you out, and we're going to put your information down below so they
Awesome.
can do that. What I absolutely was drawn to, and I just think it's so important, one of your missions is staying active and taking the time to relax and enjoy it. And so it was basically, you're not just training college athletes.
No.
There
no,
is every age group
Yeah.
in your span. Now, do you train my granddaughter,
Alex.
Kimble?
I do not.
No, okay.
I do
Okay,
not.
Stefan does.
Stefan
So, yeah,
does.
there
yes.
you go.
Stefan
Okay.
does. So Stefan and Katie run all of the classes for AIM.
Okay, perfect.
AIM is inside of our facility.
Okay, and she's 13.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
But I noticed that there were some people much more seasoned
Yes.
in your group.
Right. So
Yeah.
the Okie Flow program is for everybody.
Okay.
The AIM program is for youth and young adult athletes.
Okay.
Now people could do AIM if they wanted to. I'm
Yeah.
not going to tell them no. But
I wouldn't want to go against those girls.
Yeah, exactly. Me neither.
So they were like, oh
yeah,
my goodness.
they're little studs.
Yes, yeah.
But our program is just for general health. So we have age ranges from AIM, where we have kids who are 5, 6 years old. And then on the other side of the building, which is Okie Flow, we have 60, 70-year-old. I mean, we have a very large range of people. So,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. And I love that because it was really about quality of life
Yeah.
and staying active.
For sure.
And I just love that. So
Yeah.
so you don't have to contact him only if you're looking to build muscle.
Correct.
In fact, there wasn't a whole lot of that.
No.
It was really more about quality of life and being active.
Yeah, there's a concept that CrossFit is only hardcore, right? And
Yeah.
if you want to dive into that, I would love to, because there's lots of misconceptions there. But CrossFit itself is just being active and living an awesome life into your 90s.
But isn't it like I have to come out and flip tires
No.
and run 100 miles
No.
and no?
Not at all.
Okay,
No.
okay.
What we do every day is dependent on who you are. So what we say about CrossFit is it's universally scalable, as in you can come in and you and I can do the exact same workout. It has the same stimulus. We will just have 2 separate movements.
Oh yeah.
Right. So we would have different loading, we'd have different time domains, maybe a different rep scheme,
Okay.
but it's just about stimulus. Everyone needs the same thing, right?
Okay.
We don't vary by what we need in kind, just by what degree.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
so we all need to be able to lean over and grab things. We need to be able to squat
Put your
down. We need
shoes
to be able to
on.
put things over our head.
Yeah.
Reach and grab something if we need to, and we just make sure that we can maintain those depending on how much you want of it. Right, is how
Right.
far you can take it. If
Yeah,
you want
yeah.
it to be very competitive, you can. If you want it for just general health, I want to be happy. That's our primary focus.
Okay.
So.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because I've always kind of thought CrossFit was for the.
That's the general idea, and I think that's because of the CrossFit Games.
Okay.
So people see the
Probably
CrossFit Games
so.
and they see the intensity
Yeah,
behind it, and
yeah.
an easy way to view the CrossFit Games, right, is you've rode a bike before, right?
Yes.
Just ride
Yes,
around your
yes,
neighborhood,
yes. Right.
right?
Mhm.
There's that, and then there's the Tour de France.
Right.
Everybody who gets a bike is not doing the Tour de France,
That
right?
is true.
And
yes.
that's the same thing with CrossFit. There's just functional fitness, which is what we are
Oh,
teaching.
I like that functional fitness.
And then there is doing it competitively at a high level to try to win something.
Okay.
And that's what they are doing. That's
Mhm.
why the extreme intensity that you see is there. It's necessary for their sport,
Right.
but it's not necessary for an active, healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
Just like anything competitive, right? Sport is dangerous, right? Whenever we're just doing things to train and for health, there's not danger. inside of
Okay.
that.
Okay. I understand that now. That
Yeah.
makes sense. So don't be afraid. You don't have to be competitive or plan on being competitive. You can just come in and work out
Yeah.
for the active lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And obviously I'm in a different season of my life,
Mhm.
and one of the things that I had done some research on is I'm 54 or 55. I always have to ask my husband. I think I'm going to be 55 in December. And one of the research materials we're talking about that into your 70s, you should always be able to lift a carry-on luggage over your head.
Yes.
If you want to keep traveling, which I do.
Yes.
And to be able to squat down and pick up a 2-year-old child.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So you could actually help someone
100%.
get to that point or continue being able to do that, because
Yes.
that's what happens is you lose it if you're not using it.
Correct. It's
Right.
a use it or lose it system. So
Yeah.
I love that saying too. So we
Okay,
say that a
yeah.
lot. When people come in, a lot of the times they are limited.
Mhm,
There's
mhm.
quite a bit of limitation that they have, whether it's a physical hindrance or a past injury, something that they've dealt with forever,
Right.
right? Or there could be some chronic illness situation that
Oh,
we're dealing with. So
Good point.
we address those in our consults. We have an in-body scanner, so we can get an accurate depiction of your body
Oh.
fat percentage, which is usually kind of hinting towards a chronic illness, right? If
Okay.
there's something going on, we'll take your blood pressure. We'll measure those across time, right, as we
Mhm.
train you, and then we make sure that we do an assessment, right? So the first day that you work out, we find out what your limitations are, and we scale for you accordingly for a progression.
Oh my gosh, guys, that is huge.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So they don't just show up in gym shorts and you put them on
No.
a track. Okay.
No. So we there are people who have tons of training experience and they know what we do, and
Yeah.
they kind of walk in the door and they're like, "Hey, can I start?" And
Just want to work out.
well, let's
yeah.
have a quick consult at least,
Yeah,
right? And then we'll have a conversation about what it is that we do, what they're going to see in the class. And we have 7 class times a day. So we have,
Oh.
we have
Well, my
several
next
class times.
excuse was I can't fit it into my schedule.
Correct.
But
yeah.
you just shot that one
We
down
have
too.
a lot. Yeah, we have a lot of class times. We offer as much as we can, as well as even when those class times aren't going on, we're open from 10 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. So
Oh, wow.
if you can't make that class time that we have, or any of the class times we have, there is a coach there that's
Okay.
just ready to help you whenever.
Okay.
So
And because I'm sure you follow me and you already knew this, but
I do follow you. I
You
do.
do
I
follow
do,
me.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had a new hip
And the
last
sales is
year.
kind of iconic. That's a solid name.
Well, I was doing something stupid last year and
Yeah.
had to get a new hip, a total
I
hip
saw that.
replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I came in, you guys would sit down, assess me, and kind of help me rebuild that
Yes, ma'am.
situation. So
Yes.
anyone who's had an injury, you're not going to treat them the same way as someone else. You're
100%.
gonna,
Right. We have people who come in completely healthy. We've had
Mhm.
people who come in who have fused spines. We have several who
Wow.
have knee replacements.
Okay.
People who have current tears
Ooh.
that they're not wanting to operate on, and
Okay.
they have a doctor who has given them some pretty solid advice of if you can maintain some strength around this
Yes.
joint, you're going to be able to avoid the surgery. So
I love that because
Yeah.
I think unfortunately sometimes everyone goes straight to surgery,
they do,
and that's not always.
it's not, right?
Yes.
Imagine before we had surgery, right? How did we operate? So
Yeah.
it was, you have to be stronger
Yeah.
to keep the joint healthy.
Yeah, and
So-
obviously we are not doctors, so
No,
talk
not at
to
all,
your
not at all, yeah.
physician, but
Yeah.
actually go have a conversation. That's
Yeah.
I love that.
Hopefully you got a good doctor who'll be honest with you.
Yes, yeah, that's huge. So, what about the other side of it, the nutrition? Do you
Yes.
deal with any of that?
We
or-
do,
Okay.
right? So we, like I said, we have the in-body scanner.
Okay.
What we can use is the numbers that gives us actual hard data to
Okay.
see, and then we can give you a really accurate number to follow, right? So now we're not going to tell you to be some crazy macro counter, right?
Okay.
If it's difficult, you won't do it, right? That's just how it works. Nobody will. If it's simple, then they will,
Yes.
right? So we
Yeah.
give them extreme simplicity, right? And we give them a lot of leeway, right? A lot of freedom inside of that. We just give them 2 hard rules,
Mhm.
right? And say, I want you to focus on those 2 rules. I want you to be honest with yourself inside of that time frame so that when we come back and revisit, you can say, this was the hardest part for me and why. And then we help you with a lifestyle conversation of some ways to mitigate that issue.
Oh, wow. So it's like the full.
It's a full package.
I love
It's
that.
the full
Okay.
package.
And so, what kind of success are you having?
Quite a bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've so in 2017, probably early 2017, we were around 30 members. So very small business.
Sure, you
right?
start off small. Yeah.
And then now with the combination of AIM and then just the Tahlequah, we're around 170
Wow.
members, and then Muskogee is around 90. So
goodness.
it's working, and
Okay.
people are, and we don't do a lot of advertising. So
I.
that's something I should do. I know
Yeah,
you already
yeah.
mentioned that you didn't know me, so I should do better.
Okay.
And that's a lot of the reason that my
Well,
brother Stefan gets
yes.
on me all the time.
There you go. But also, what's happening is it's one of those things that then once I heard your name, I was like, then I started hearing it again, the reticular activator, and what I was hearing is, success stories.
Yeah.
And so now you've got those 170 people out there marketing for you
Yeah.
because they were very happy.
Right.
Do you have any success stories you could share without maybe giving the names or anyone
Yes.
that wouldn't
Yeah.
want?
I was just about to say I don't want to share their name. but-
Okay, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. So we have an older gentleman who came in. He was
And
around.
older is
He was around 50.
okay.
Right. No, I don't give anything specific.
Okay,
He's
okay.
He's very close to the 50 range.
Okay, in the 50 range.
He was not sent to us, but told that he needs to find a gym.
Get something going, yeah.
He was on several medications. His blood pressure was scary high, and that he needed to make some healthy lifestyle changes. He's been with us now for 6 months and is on no medication at all. And he's also a diehard, and we can't get him out of the gym.
Oh
So
no, he
he's
was
in-
addicted
Yeah,
immediately.
he falls in love with it. We've had another lady who's been a member for an extremely long time with us. She actually had a stroke. While she was a member of our gym, she was traveling and she had a stroke. And instead of the normal avenues of therapy, she asked if she could just continue to come to the gym and just work with someone for her speech. And she had the fastest recovery time the doctor's ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
So her movement came back, as a lot of that is facial,
Oh,
right,
yeah,
and paralysis,
yeah.
a little bit on one side.
Mhm.
She had all of that come back faster than they've seen, and her speech is progressing very quickly as well. So she's doing awesome.
Oh my gosh.
We had another older woman, right? She's in her upper 50s. When she came in, her doctor was going to prescribe her something that was going to cost her far too much than she could
Yeah, those
afford.
scripts are very
And,
expensive.
Without getting into detail of her situation, she came to us instead, and to strengthen some areas of her life, as well as that heart needed to be healthier.
Okay.
So she made some significant changes, and then the doctor said it's no longer an issue.
Oh,
So
wow, that's
yeah, they've been.
phenomenal.
That's the cool stories.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we have a ridiculous amount of overweight or into the obese category, and
Sure.
and then coming out of that drastically in about a year and a half time frame.
Which is then diabetes, high blood
Correct.
pressure,
Correct.
bad knees.
Yeah.
All of those things that you're avoiding
Yeah.
by helping correct that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can talk some of them into coming on your podcast as
Yes.
a guest.
So we have
because that would be-
mentioned that. Yeah. We've only gotten one that's like no.
But, maybe at least a testimonial.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. So we just kind of jumped right in with trying to figure out where you were located and
Yeah.
everything, but we'll put your contact information below.
Okay.
One of the things that I had mentioned at the top when I was doing the research on you is you're very big into faith and family.
Yes,
Tell
ma'am.
us a little bit about your family and what you've got going on there.
So I have a beautiful wife, Shelby Harris. If you've met her, she acts like she's known you since she was a little girl. She's awesome.
Okay.
She's my everything. And then we have a beautiful little girl. She's 1 year old, and she has the most energy and personality of anyone I've ever met. And we named her Lovey, which is very fitting because she wants to hug everybody she meets. So
that's beautiful.
she's awesome. And
Yeah.
then my wife is also pregnant with our second.
Yes, that's what I was waiting to hear.
She's pregnant with our second. So
Well, congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
you've got a lot going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how awesome that your parents are moving back.
Oh yeah. Well,
And the grandparents are going to be
we need
right.
some help. We gotta get them back up here.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, we need
Perfect
some help.
timing. I love that.
Yeah.
And then you had mentioned your affiliation with maybe a church or
Yes.
okay.
Roots Church.
Oh, Roots. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I go to Roots. They've been awesome to us. All the pastors that are currently there, the head pastor, youth pastor, and worship pastor, they all come to the gym as well.
That's good. Yeah.
Didn't happen like because I was going there. They just happened to come. It just worked out like that.
Okay,
But
yeah.
but no, they're really really good human beings, and I've always Roots is an affiliate of Life Church. I don't know if
Okay.
you knew that or not,
Nope,
but
I didn't know that.
I've always listened to Craig Rochelle's messages, and
Okay.
and that's what's shown there. So I
Gotcha.
can still get to have that as well. And my wife, she serves at church in the child care.
Okay.
So it's they're starting to become like a one big family on top of our fitness family. So
yeah, and that's the great thing is
It
having
is.
having more than one family.
Yeah,
So
it
that's
is.
I love that.
Yeah.
So anything else that we should know so that we can let the viewers be aware of what you've got going over there?
Anything that you guys have questions when it comes to the fitness side or what we do at the gym, Okie Flow Fitness, we're at 2091 West Choctaw Street. We're right by the police station. So
Okay.
if you have any questions of what we do, just reach out and ask us. There's no have to show up and see us in person to get answers. We'll answer your questions
Okay.
clearly. This is not a trick. It's not a gimmick.
No
Just-
gimmicks.
We'll just tell you what we do. And if you would like to come in and talk in person, we know that your health, right, is more of an intimate conversation. It's a vulnerable situation, so feel free to come in and talk to us. We'd love to talk to you, even if you decide that you want to go another avenue. There's several gyms in this area that do a fantastic job.
Yes.
So this is not for me to promote ours. This is for us to just promote health and wellness in general. So I know that John Bloodworth.
John has been on our podcast.
Yeah, he's
we love
doing
John.
an awesome job of being
Yes.
very out in the public.
Yeah,
That's something
yeah.
I need to do better of, right?
Okay.
But John's at the Fit. There's Marcoma. I know a trainer there named Brandon Goad who does an excellent
Oh,
job.
Brandon, yes. we work
Barry
with Brandon.
Dotson, who actually got me started.
Oh,
So
okay.
Barry Dotson does some training as well.
Okay.
There's Jade and Chance Adams at Peak.
We've had them on the podcast.
There's
yes.
AeroFit. I think there's a Tahlequah Fitness now. I
Okay.
think that's what it's called. Tahlequah
Okay.
Fitness. It's a 24/7 center. There's lots of options here. So don't worry about which one. Just pick one and start.
I think that's so
Just
smart.
pick one and start.
Absolutely. Now, if somebody did want to reach out, what's kind of the best platform that you like to be contacted through? The one that you use the easiest?
We usually use two of them pretty frequently. You can either go to our website, which is okieflowfitness.com.
Okay, and we're going to put that link below.
Yes, ma'am. And then, or you can find us on Facebook.
Okay,
Okie Flow
Facebook.
Fitness. We have a phone number for the gym that you can text because people like to text a lot more than call. So
Oh,
if they
I
can
love
they can
that.
text us and we reply pretty quickly on there.
Okay.
We can also set up a schedule your consultation to come in and see the gym and talk to us before ever having to do anything. So.
Okay. I love that it just does not feel intimidating the way you're explaining it.
Well, it shouldn't. Yeah,
And
I hope not.
walking into a gym is
Yeah.
sometimes very intimidating.
It is.
So
It is.
and honestly, guys, you I hope it's coming through. He is he's very open and nothing intimidating about
I
him.
appreciate
so
that. Thank you.
yeah, even though he can lift 620 pounds, that's super impressive. So, okay, now it is a real estate podcast, so I
Okay.
have to kind of bring it back to real estate.
Okay, I don't know much about real estate. I'll give it a
That's
go.
okay. That's okay. Well, I always like to ask every guest,
Okay.
if money were no object, what 3 things would your dream home have to have?
Ooh. My wife would kill me if I didn't say a big porch.
Okay.
So probably like a big wraparound
Oh,
porch.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, selfishly, I want a very large shop/gym
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
on some land, preferably like
Okay.
10 to 20 acres,
Okay.
and a giant open concept for my daughter's room/gymnastic mat, whatever she wants it to be.
Oh,
So.
I love that. So she's going to be the one flipping and
Oh, for
doing
sure. She's doing it now.
cartwheels and-
She's 1 year old and she's doing all
Oh
kinds
my
of.
gosh.
She's crazy.
I like she's great.
She's awesome.
That's such a fun age
Yeah,
too.
she is.
Okay.
She's the
Well,
sweetest.
none of those sound totally insane.
Right,
That's
yeah.
all doable.
Yeah, I like open
Absolutely.
concepts. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Matt McCrary, the guy I mentioned, does the background stuff on our podcast for
Okay.
us. His wife Katie helps with AIM.
Oh,
So
perfect.
Katie
okay.
is Stefan's assistant.
Oh yes. Okay. I
Yeah.
have seen her on your.
They have a
on your
beautiful
stuff.
home, and it's a very open concept. Something similar to that would be
Similar
awesome.
to that.
Yeah.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. Well, we think it's important to start that process of thinking what that dream home
Yeah,
would be.
absolutely.
Because you dream it, then you claim it, and then
Yeah.
you make it happen.
For sure,
So I
yeah.
think that's so important.
Pray about it,
So-
and it'll be there.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, with everything you've got going, we're really appreciative that you took the time to come out and join
Well,
us
thank
on
you
our
for inviting me on.
podcast
This
today.
is awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're going to put your information below so everybody can find you and connect with you. And again, if not him, he wants you to connect with someone
Yes.
because having an active lifestyle and using it so you don't lose it
Yes.
is really, really important.
Absolutely,
So I
yeah.
think you're going to blow up here in Tahlequah. I
Alright.
mean, it's just a fantastic message and it's so important.
Yes, ma'am.
So guys, as always, please like, follow, and share because it will help get his information out. Again, we're going to put all of his contact info below. And if you would like to be a podcast or there's someone that you would like to see on here, please reach out and we will contact them and see if they're happy to join us. And as always, we're so appreciative that you joined us today. And again, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks
Connor.
for having me on. I
Okay,
appreciate it.
awesome.
Thanks, guys.